my name is Mark Scott. I'm part of the Dynamo advisory board, work for Tombola. Really delighted to be able to introduce this session, which is Mind the Skills Gap, how to develop your talent pipeline. The session will cover the issue of talent shortages in digital marketing, IT and software development fields. We'll be hearing from local businesses, Mediaworks and Aspire Technology Solutions, who will be sharing the challenges, success stories and lessons they've learned with their hiring. And this session will be chaired by Joanna from Raw Digital and Scott Urwin from Baltic Apprenticeships. Enjoy, everyone.
So welcome to the session. We're really excited to bring you this and to be able to share with you some fantastic tips, help and advice from companies, Aspire and Mediaworks, who have got some great experience in terms of taking on apprentices and how they're building their own internal talent pipeline. It should be really valuable and everyone should get quite a lot of takeaways from it. And we've also got Scott Urwin here, who's the Business Development Manager for Baltic Apprenticeships, who are the tech apprenticeship provider in the North East. And I'm Joanna from Raw Digital Training. We deliver a digital talent program, which is kind of like a pre-apprenticeship program to really encourage more young people to be going into tech jobs. You'll have loads of time for questions at the end. We have got, a wealth of knowledge here between us, and you can ask whatever you want, really. So I'm going to start to move over onto the slides. So if everyone just wants to double click the slides that you can see, the Baltic slides with the blue screen, and I'll follow through the slides, and then I'll be bringing in Jess and Jayne for their parts. Okay. So this is our quick agenda here, and what we're going to run through. In terms of the North East skills gap, it's something that's been documented quite a lot, and we've all heard so many conversations about it. I know there's certainly a lot of different groups and boards that I'm on, and the issue really doesn't seem to be going away. As a sector in the region, we're really hustling, bustling and growing, and some may think that we're punching above our weight and there's no sign of slowing down whatsoever. But with this growth has certainly brought problems with regard to the skills gap, and it's magnified even more so now. In the North East, we unfortunately have one of the worst skills gaps in the UK, and the Open University recently did a report which showed that although the 12 months previous we were showing some improvement, 65% of bosses in the region were still experiencing difficulty in finding suitable candidates, and this is costing them dearly. The impact is on productivity, it's on business owners' time, and obviously it's the impact on not being able to sometimes carry out the work that is there. We do know that this is mainly at a higher level. The gap is existing at the moment with regards to senior level developers and the issue that that's caused in the region. 1 in 2 UK tech firms feel like the skills gap is a threat to their business. And in terms of inward investment in the region and us trying to attract companies to be coming into the region and basing themselves here, if they've got huge demand for talent, that's going to be an issue when we're struggling to service our own businesses. In terms of some statistics that are available to us, 37% of jobs are expected to alter significantly in the next 5 years. We have a huge demand for people with high-level digital skills, and that is greater than the number of suitably qualified employees. The gap is growing, and the World Economic Forum report on jobs and futures is really quite intrinsic in terms of their predictions and their planning. The Open University, in their report, they did recognise that there's a rise of technology-related apprenticeships that are fast becoming acknowledged as one of the most effective pathways to develop talent. And many businesses do underestimate the impact that this can have. With the North East having the fastest growing tech cluster outside of London, the difference in the apprenticeship take between London and the North East is huge. And that's relative to populations as well that these stats have been produced. So in the last 2 years in London, apprenticeships have increased by 11% each year. And in the North East, we're struggling to touch at even 3% with the increase of apprenticeships. We know that more needs to be done to encourage companies to choose apprenticeships as a route, which is why Baltic and Raw partnered together in the first place. We want to ensure that more young people are entering the sector. We want to be able to support the sector here with their demands, basically what they're wanting and needing from an apprentice at their very start date, the soft skills, the behavioural skills, and also that step up with the technical knowledge. Now is a difficult time for some young people, and we're seeing certainly a lot of change in choices. And 87% of young people are not confident that they can find high quality jobs in their local area. And that's from the Youth Census report, which has been released just this week. The economic benefits are huge to an economy, absolutely huge in terms of apprenticeships. For every £1 of public money spent on an apprenticeship, the economy benefits by £21. And for apprentices themselves, it's a great way to be earning money and be getting into the sector fast and getting skilled further and faster. And for an employer, apprentices can bring a value of £37,000 per employee per year. So having one eye on the future as well as now is certainly vitally important. And that's why we wanted to bring you this session, not just to hear from myself or from Baltic, but to hear from some local businesses that are really doing a pretty spectacular job at utilising apprentices to fill their talent pipeline, and they're gaining in terms of skills, the retention, and obviously the business wider as a whole. So I'm going to bring in now Jess, who is the HR business partner from Aspire Technology Solutions, and she's going to talk you through their journey, some of the longer term visions that they've got, and some of the kind of tips and help that they've be able to share with you about this. After which Jayne will be brought in, and if you've got any questions along the way, please keep a note of them, because at the end of it, we'll open it up to questions to both Jess and Jayne and the rest of the panel. Jess, we can't hear you what you're saying. Can you just make sure that your mic is
on there you go. That's better.
Common occurrence during lockdown.
Exactly, yeah. I'm used to being on mute.
You've had a dress rehearsal. Off you go.
Rewind to that. So yeah, I was just giving basically an introduction in terms of how we've started our kind of journey on the apprentice route. So since 2015, we've taken on 16 apprentices. 14 of those have successfully stayed with the company and went into full-time roles with us, which has been great. So we've had some great success with taking on apprenticeships. At the moment, we're potentially taking on apprentices through the level 3 IT infrastructure route, which has been great for us because it gives the apprentice the knowledge to be able to support our customers from a technical aspect, which is absolutely great for us. Obviously, you know, our company is massive in terms of customer support and how that's delivered to our customers. So getting the apprentice right from day one on that course with the training provider Baltic has been great for us. It's a good match between what we need as a business in terms of the skill set, thinking not just now but in the future as well. So we feel like bringing them in, you know, within that course has been extremely valuable for us. So we've had some great success so far over the last few years. And I think one particular, you know, just as an example, we've had someone that's progressed through the apprentice scheme and gone on to develop different kind of different areas. I'm a bit echoey there. Can you hear me okay?
Can you turn your mic off, please? Can everybody else turn the mic off that's on the panel?
Is that any better? That's better, I'm back. Technical issue number 2. We're all good, all good. So yeah, so hopefully that gives an overview of kind of where we've came from over the last few years and the success we've had with apprentices, really, it's definitely helped our business. And from there as well, it's, you know, it has helped us develop our pipeline in terms of skill shortages and how we use those skills going forward. I think when you bring an apprentice in, you've got that kind of scope to be able to, you know, set their training development in terms of over that 15-month period and think about really, you know, where do you see that apprentice going across your business? So what areas of the business do you need more support with? Where can you see them potentially going over that journey with you, really? So when it does come to the end of the scheme, the apprentice does have those skills, they've got that experience to be able to, you know, go into hopefully a full-time position with the business, which is what we, you know, want to achieve at the end of the scheme, and once we get to that kind of 15-month period.
Yes, in terms of how you, because obviously you're inducting people on a yearly basis, bringing in quite kind of cohorts of apprentices. What is it in your process that you're doing that seems to be working so well? What is it that you've learned in terms of, you know, how to give them the best induction, how to let them know the company's, I don't know, values and behaviours, and kind of getting them off to the best start, really, for the best result?
Yeah, great question. I think firstly, I know we're doing obviously this event with Baltic as well, but I think firstly that the support that we've had from the provider themselves has been, you know, amazing in terms of right from sending, you know, them the requirements in terms of what we need as a business. Working with a provider like that to be able to give you the support and make sure you get the right candidates for your business has been excellent. You have the support throughout the scheme, throughout the 15 months. You know, you've got various account managers, people that you can contact for support. But I think for us, in terms of what we felt's been, you know, effective for us as a business, I think, you know, considering where the apprentice can add value to your business, and when they do come into the business, treat them like you would, you know, with anyone else. We get them involved right from day one in team meetings, one-to-ones, our employee forums. They've attended our company events, been recognised for that. So we have Apprentice of the Year schemes, and you know, they're recognised on a monthly basis. So we've introduced incentives across the business to support that. I think if you are considering apprentices as well, give them the support and development they need. I think, you know, especially if they're reporting into just one person who's got the time to be able to develop them and, you know, spend time with them in terms of what they need support with their Baltic work, but also across the business in terms of development as well, I think is absolutely key for us. We're very open and honest with them in terms of, you know, how our culture is. Communicating with them constantly, so they're never kept out of the loop of anything that's going on across the business, so they're always, you know, are informed of everything that we go through. So I think those are probably the key things that I think helps us work, you know, and how it's been effective for us as an apprentice scheme, really, which has been good.
Thanks for that, Jess. Do you want to just mute your mic for now and then come back on at that the Q&A with Mike? Yeah, that's brilliant. And then I'll bring in Jayne Walsh now, who's from Mediaworks. And an amazing thing about both of these businesses is that they are both recruiting at the moment as well, even during everything that's going on. So we can get onto that in the Q&A session as well. So Jayne, do you want to come on technical stage?
Yeah, can you hear me okay? Is that all right? Can you hear me okay? Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Jayne.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, you just froze there. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yep, go ahead. Yep.
Okay, no worries. Yeah. So just firstly, so to introduce myself, so my name is Jayne Walsh. Work at Mediaworks as head of. So we're an online marketing company. Just basically, everybody's working remotely at the moment. So yeah, with with Baltic for a number of years now, and prior to that we had experience of working with apprenticeship agencies, and let's just say that we did have experience with that. But since working with Baltic, you know, like just to echo really what understand our business, our needs, they understand what type of person sort of fits within our culture as well, which is we have like open day sessions where all of the apprentices come to see what Mediaworks are like. We set them like little challenges, and it works fantastic to the right candidates. The company's around about 13 years old now, and probably for the last 10 years we've actually taken on apprentices. We've got a number of success stories right throughout the company, of apprentices staying on with us, becoming like that senior management level. Really great. So yeah, so that's our sort of current up to date where we are in regard to apprenticeships at the moment.
Yeah, Jayne. Hello, Jayne.
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Sorry, yeah, you just cut off there. Okay, so and obviously at the moment as well,
Hi, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello? Hello, Jayne.
Yep, yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
I think there might be a little bit of a lag your side.
Hi, yeah, I can hear you okay.
Okay, brilliant. So in terms of, obviously at the moment, you've still got plans to take on, I know you're recruiting potentially 5 digital marketing apprentices from our upcoming digital marketing academy. And obviously in the midst of everything else that's happened, you haven't took your foot off the gas whatsoever. You're still taking on, and in fact, you might now be moving into other apprenticeship areas and moving into taking on software developer and IT through Baltic and through our academy. So why is that in that this moment that actually, which sometimes is the first thing to go for the people, why has that not been the case for yourselves?
I just think, you know, it's the value add that apprentices actually have brought to our business. You know, we've always valued every single apprentice come into our business, and the way that they like learn and develop when during their time with us, we essentially set each to allow them to have time in each single department, finding out where their skills lie and where they will develop and sort of flourish in the future as well. So the digital marketing apprenticeship, we've mainly took all of our apprentices, but like you mentioned there, we're going to into the IT and sort of dev side of things as well. Obviously, business has upped for us during this time. In fact, it's actually grown. So we need more people. We need more. We need the business, and it would just be great to train up that sort of future media worker, essentially.
And in terms of your induction process, you know, what is it? I suppose you must have learned so much over the 10 years of how you induct them and how you kind of mentor them and work with them throughout the year to then get the best from them. What kind of things have you put in place for that? Because I know someone referred to you as Auntie Jayne with regards to apprentices.
Yeah, we've learned a lot through the let's say the 10 years that we've been doing this, and it's a huge leap sometimes for apprentices to leave that sort of school-based environment and then to go into the everyday work. And what we find in the first couple of weeks, they're absolutely knackered because they're not used to getting up every day, coming into work, say like 8:30 till 5 or whichever the hours are. They're used to going to school, missing some lectures or however they do it. So it's quite a big leap really for them. And also it's that transition of having to sort of be watched over by a teacher or anything like that. They have that freedom, and we give them a mentor, which we sort of look after them for that whole and that year period initially, and they're always there for somebody to talk to as well. But that person isn't their line manager, isn't really anything to do with that department that they're working on. It's somebody that they can actually, if they're having struggles, if they're having any problems, it's somebody there for them to talk to. And like I say, we allow each apprentice to go into each of our departments just to make sure that they are sort of picking the right department for their path and for their future. Because I think with an apprenticeship, you don't want to force somebody into a career really necessarily want to do. We like to give them the opportunity to work on different departments, and a skill might be there which they might have not known. So yeah, we found, especially apprenticeship run, that there's some like hidden talents in there that not even the apprentices knew, and they've found in this passion take on as a career, because apprenticeship is just that, so we nurture that and need to invest as much of our time into that, what they are giving us as well.
We just lost Jayne just there. And one really positive thing that came recently from their last apprenticeship cohort that they were talking about was that now that they're at the stage of entering out of the apprenticeship and into the standard job, that there's been some, kind of internal almost scraps going on of people really, fighting over some of the talents of different kind of sub teams, really wanting that person on their team, which is really interesting and fantastic to hear. Okay, so what we'll do is I'm just going to run through a quick slide now, and then we'll go on to the Q&A if that's all right. So on your screen, you should be able to see slides, I think. And if you're just there, the slides are up there. If you just double click on the slides, and I'm just going to quickly run through in terms of the Royal Academy and Baltic and what the kind of offering is. So exactly that, we want and need more people to be going into apprenticeships in the North East. It's actually vital, it's actually critical, and now more than ever, it's incredibly important to our economy and also our talent pipeline as a region as a whole, but also for individual businesses. At Royal, we created the Talent Academy, which has been kind of adapted, COVID adapted. So now it's 2 weeks online, but on online classroom. And we have 2 weeks on that. So we bring in 16 to 24-year-olds. We bring in people that may know about the tech sector. We bring in a lot of people that don't know about the tech sector. They don't know what's here and they don't know what's available. Some people are hobbyists and have had, great enthusiasm coding away in the bedroom, or have been writing blogs on their own. And some people, like I say, are very new to it. However, they're all screened before they come onto an academy. And we train with them for 2 weeks, a really intensive, transformative 2 weeks that gives them a wide variety of skills and just a supercharged package altogether. 1 week is workplace professionalism. Now, workplace professionalism has been informed entirely by the tech sector of the North East, and that's given the attendees everything that employers say they need. So instead of someone feeling like the person's up to scratch in terms of the soft skills and behavioural skills, a long time down the line, we want that to be there from day one. The positive attitude, using your own initiative, what is the right way to behave in the workplace, but in real black and white ways. There's no kind of messing around and real soft activities of this. It's straight to the point. That businesses said to us, look, this is really important. We found that whatever the role in the tech sector, critical thinking is important, and so is kind of organisation skills and project management. So these are all taught within the Workplace Professionalism Week as well. And we know that 92% of businesses say that it's these kind of skills that are actually more important than the technical skills. So instead of talking the talk, we're walking the walk with regards to trying to impact the skills gap in the region. That's week one. Week two is a technical week based on whatever path that apprentice is going on to. So we have the Digital Marketing Academy, in which the second week is all digital marketing related. So different tools and techniques to use online, things around advertising, touching on SEO, a lot around content and content creation and being ready to be able to create the appropriate content with the right brand and the right tone of voice. Obviously, the candidate is then going to go on to an apprenticeship. So it's not like they're going to be coming in all singing, all dancing, but they're just going to be massively elevated in terms of where they're starting off at prominent with an employer. We have people often that have been to school, college, sometimes even we have graduates as well that have now wanting to enter the sector. We have a software development academy in week 2 of the software development academy. It's software fundamentals. And we have an IT academy, which is IT fundamentals taught on the technical week. Obviously, the route on from here is the appropriate apprenticeship route. And with Baltic, that is a digital marketing apprenticeship, a software development apprenticeship, or an IT apprenticeship. We have businesses that sign up to the academies to recruit. So Mediaworks, for example, have signed up to the Digital Marketing Academy and want to take 5 people from that. And in fact, we've been quite overwhelmed by the response of businesses who want to recruit from the academies, especially in this current climate and current time. It's really providing a really quality job and career future for young people. And it is entirely reassuring, I think, for all of us that if the sector's investing in the talent at this stage, it's quite promising, what's ahead. We have been delighted with the talent that has come our way to sign up to these academies. At the moment, there's many young people that are actually, the path and route has changed. So we're getting a lot of people that were planning on going to university, but now that's not the case. However, through an apprenticeship, they're going to enter directly into our tech sector in the region within a matter of months and be earning and be on that same path to the tech career. None of this is of cost to an employer or a young person. So the Raw Digital Talent Academy is free for the end user and it's free for the business, and the business can inform us this is what we're looking for in a candidate, for example. Businesses from micro businesses to large have obviously taken on board, and we have a lot more information on this if anybody wants to speak to us after the presentation, and we have got a Q&A session on just now. So if anybody asks a question, if you want to press into the chat and ask a question into the chat box, I can ask the question to the appropriate panelist. If you'd like to come on screen to share a question with us to anybody, that's fine as well. You just need to click on the blue box of share audio and video, and you can ask your question that way. We can see your face and hear you. So I'm just looking here in the chat to see if we've got any questions coming through. I can't see anything just as yet, but if I get on the moderation panel, I'm just going to check if anyone's trying to wait to come through physically. And it doesn't look like it, no. Everyone's being so shy. We are going to be on the booth after this, the exhibition booth, if you'd like to come to the exhibition booth. And in terms of the advice and help from Jess and Jayne, I'm sure both of them would be more than happy to ask any questions directly if you'd like me to share. If you'd like to get in touch with either myself or Scott, the contact details are there on the screen, and we can pass those questions over. Obviously, they've got a wealth of knowledge and experience and have been doing this a long time. So if anyone can help you, we're happy to connect you with them or with any other type of business that would be in your sector that could help you out with getting started with it. We have the academies happening the next few months, with start dates happening in kind of August and September, but we have a round of academies happening in the autumn as well, and something that's probably going to keep kind of growing and growing to meet the demand of this fantastic sector that's flourishing. Thank goodness. So I'm going to leave it there because I haven't got any questions coming through at the moment. But like I say, if anyone is just feeling a little bit shy and would like to come to the booth, we will be on the booth now and for the next hour or so. Contact details are there if we can help anybody with anything else. And it's been great to have the session. Thank you so much to everyone that's taken part. Thank you to Jess, and thank you to Jayne, and thank you to Scott and the team at Baltic that have helped put all of this together, and obviously Dynamo for the opportunity, and looking forward to the rest of the day. Okay.